The whiner Ben O'Connor should be enjoying the happiest moments of his life, leading the Vuelta a España by more than 3 minutes over his immediate pursuer, the Slovenian skier. But you don't gain a reputation of being a whiner by accident, dear friends. The Australian from Team Casino yesterday took to treating the fans of the sport like dirt by pleading with Selfie Le Partillon to revoke several yellow cards from his teammates for blocking the race and preventing several riders from attacking, and even, albeit unintentionally, causing a crash, thankfully without serious consequences, for the king of the minions. He did it in the way that you're seeing in the images, crying and crying like the good whiner that he is and treating us all like idiots. We agree with you and your big baby logic, O'Connor. Perhaps there should be even more sanctions of this style, though, on many more stages. There's a thought. But it had to start with someone, and it started with you. It's unsportsmanlike behaviour that destroys the illusions of the spectator, and after all, little has happened to the Casino team barring a simple yellow card. And you're lucky that a corrupt softy like Selfie, who prefers to go to Arabia to earn money instead of being at the nerve centre of his sport in Spain, is the president of the UCI, and not your Uncle Cycling highlights. Evidently, cycling fans are not idiots, and they got everything off their chest, telling it just how it is to the crybaby from down under, who then, like a good crybaby, got angry at the slightest criticism. He stopped breathing, and he deleted his Twitter account. We'll see in the future if he returns, or not, like the Islamophobic woman of the White Kenyan. Someone who is appearing much more in the media at the moment is Moonlight Machin, the popular director of the Sonia Duval team, and recently he's been negotiating with Dracula Gianetti about his renewal with the Emirati team. Negotiations where sparks must be flying despite their having shared teams for 2 decades, because, as you know, thanks to the insider Mo, the Slovenian alien Poggy can't stand the sight of the worker Ayuso. And given that the Andorran cyclist is a close friend of his boss, Machin, relations in Sonia Duval have cooled quite a lot. There were several fake rumours saying that the bald Spaniard was going to leave cycling to go to Athletic Club de Bilbao in soccer with the fraud Inigo San Millán, or even that he was going to Team Sky to try to resurrect the decadent British. But everything seems to indicate that he will stay at Sonia, and he'll just make sure that he doesn't put Poggy with Ayuso in any competition in 2025, because the Slovenian alien is more than a little fed up with the pampered Andorran. Now, if you want to keep up to date with everything, make sure you subscribe to this channel now and follow us on our official Twitter account, @UncleCycling. And now, let's analyse the stage of the day. Javier Guillen's Galician cycling paradise was today taking him to one of his favourite places, the spas of Ourense, the hottest place in all of northwestern Spain, where the 2016 Vuelta a España had already started. It would take us along for 137 fairly flat kilometres to the final climb at the Manzaneda Mountain Resort, a 15-kilometre pass at 4.7% average gradient. A rather sinewy climb that has only been climbed once in the history of this race, but what an occasion, as it was the first time that our much-admired White Kenyan first wore a leader's jersey in a Grand Tour, thanks to the TUE that gave him superpowers back in August 2011. However, he couldn't wear it for too long, as he had to limit himself to working for his then leader, and then still without alcohol problems, Bradley Wiggins. He was treated by Dr. Richard Freeman, and trying to regain sensations of form after a disappointing season, he ate all the air in his face and lost 30 decisive seconds, allowing the doped bison Juanjo Cobo to win the Vuelta a España and to be received in the Santiago Bernabéu Stadium as a hero, along with Moonlight Machin. Only then to surrender his Vuelta crown to the Kenyan with a positive for salbutamol 8 years later. Today we'll see if the whiner O'Connor could recover from the harsh criticism that has hurt and bruised his ego, and also if the attacker Enric Mas would attack. Oh, stay until the end of the video to find out. The day began with crossfire between teams in a heated atmosphere, typical of the second week of a Grand Tour. There was Garmin team manager Juan Malgarate blaming the whining O'Connor for the fall of the King of the Minions the day before. At the same time, Lennart van Eetvelt, sanctioned by his own team for doping, did not recover from the excesses of the rest day, and after dragging himself through the previous 2 stages, he left the Vuelta a España 2024 in anonymity, a race that would have served to consolidate him as one of the great stars of cycling. Few will miss him. At first, the riders were jockeying for position to form an ideal breakaway for the win, and a group of 10 men duly formed, including several of the usual suspects. From Filippo Soler in his classic breakaway mode, taking advantage of teammate Adam Yates, who was suffering some discomfort, through Team Sky's Jonathan Narvaez, the affectionately named by Sergio Palamonte Mascot Verona, there was the Brit of the Sunweb team, Max Poole, and the very dangerous Theodosit Tejada of the Astana team, which re-signed another rider sanctioned for doping, as Diego Ulissi, perhaps as a novelty for 2025. These men quickly built a lead of more than 6 minutes over a peloton, in which, today, the Casino team evidently did not want any further problems with the rest of the riders. The top of Manzaneda arrived, and the victory was, for certain, going to be decided amongst the escapees. After 2 slight attempts by the Andorran Verona and Filippo Soler, your uncle's cycling highlights was left with a feeling, which is unfair to the protagonist of the stage, of a Christmas present being gift-wrapped for the Kern Pharma team. The Spanish team's historic skipper, Manuel Ascona, had passed away overnight, and even the Vuelta organisers had paid tribute to him. Now, when the promising Spaniard who is making a good impression on this competition, Pablo Castrillo, made his attack practically at the foot of the pass and nobody followed his wheel, we who have seen a lot of cycling already knew that the stage already had an official winner. Now, I don't want to take away merits from Castrillo. I repeat, he is performing at an excellent level in this Vuelta. He's a promising cyclist with a career in crescendo. Top 10 in the National Championships of Spain, top 10 in the Vuelta Burgos, and very, very active in this Vuelta a España. But he had no triumphs as a professional prior to today. Today, he had the balls to attack when he needed to, and he went straight for the win, his best win as a pro, and one that will help him to make a living from cycling for a few more years. Hopefully, the first win of many. But there was no organisation seen from behind. Even the strongest man in the chase, Filippo Soler, well, he'd been part of the Kern Pharma team during its formation years, and he gave Castrillo a warm hug after the stage. Worse still was the attitude of the peloton. 0 attacks, 0 movement among the favourites. Let's hope that tomorrow, on the road to Ancares, the story will be different. Despite this example of a possible gift, we will always be happy for the victory of a pro-continental team rider against the giants of world cycling. 3 cheers for the underdog. And now, take a look at the video on the screen. Yes, you'll love it.